You know, there's a revolution happening in software development right now. It's called vibe coding, and it's letting people build things at the speed of thought. But it's also creating this massive legal blind spot. So today, let's break down what vibe coding really is and get into the critical intellectual property questions that come along with it.
So where did this term come from? Well, it was coined by OpenAI co-founder Andrej Karpathy. And the idea here is a really fundamental shift in how we develop things. It's not about wrestling with semicolons and syntax anymore. It's about guiding an incredibly powerful AI partner to bring your vision to life.
So what does that actually mean? Well, at its core, vibe coding is really just a conversation. You describe what you want, something like, hey, make a landing page with 3 columns and a sign-up form, and the AI just generates the code. This makes development ridiculously fast. It lowers the barrier for people who aren't expert coders, and it helps all of us get over that scary blank page feeling. And look, if you think this is just some niche trend, think again. The founder of Replit, which is a super popular online coding platform, revealed that a staggering 75% of their customers never write a single line of code themselves. 75%. They're building real products, solving real problems, all through vibe coding.
And that all leads us to the really uncomfortable question at the heart of this revolution. It's a question that could literally determine whether your next big idea actually belongs to you. This is the central conflict we absolutely need to understand.
All this incredible speed and accessibility, well, it comes with a cost, a full-blown ownership crisis. You might be building your amazing innovation on a foundation that you don't actually control. Think of it this way. Every single line of code an AI generates for you could be potentially unowned and unownable. So the whole structure feels solid when you're building it, but the legal ground underneath, it could give way at any moment. Let's dig into why that is.
All right, our first big clue comes from the world of patents and an AI system named DABUS. Now, DABUS independently created 2 inventions, a new kind of food container and a flashing beacon. Pretty cool, right? Its creator, Dr. Stephen Thaler, tried to patent them, and he was honest. He listed the AI as the inventor.
And the result? A huge, resounding no from patent offices all over the world. The US, the UK, the EU, you name it. The courts were crystal clear. An inventor has to be a natural person, a human being. So, if an AI is the sole inventor, that invention simply can't be patented.
And it's not just patents, folks. We see the exact same problem popping up in the world of copyright. Take the case of Zarya of the Dawn, a graphic novel by Chris Castanova. They wrote the story, they arranged the images, but the art itself, that was all made by the AI Midjourney. And this forced the Copyright Office to make a really tough call.
In the end, they kind of split the difference. Castanova got the copyright for the parts that involved obvious human creativity, so the text they wrote and the specific arrangement of the images. But the individual AI-generated images themselves, nope. They received no copyright protection, leaving them in this weird legal no-man's land.
And as if all that wasn't enough, there's another hidden danger, the open source trap. See, AI models are trained on tons of public code, and some of that code uses these really restrictive copyleft licenses. These licenses basically say that any software that uses them must also be made public. So if an AI drops even a tiny snippet of this code into your app, you could be legally forced to open source your entire product. That is a potential business killer right there.
Okay, so the risks are pretty clear. I know, it sounds a little doom and gloom. But that doesn't mean we should stop using these incredible tools. Not at all. It just means we need to be smart about it. It's time to shift from thinking about IP as a minefield to seeing it as a powerful toolbox for building and protecting your innovation.
So let's totally reframe this. Your IP isn't just a shield you hide behind. It's a set of strategic tools. You can stack them, you can combine them, and you can use them to build a strong, defensible position for all the amazing things you create with AI's help. So what's in this toolbox? Well, you've got 4 main tools. First up, patents, which protect the how, your unique method. Second, copyright, for the what, the original code and UI you're creating. Third, you've got trade secrets, which guard your secret sauce, things like your killer prompts. And finally, trademarks, which protect your brand. A single product can, and honestly often should, use all 4 of these. So, we know the tools, now let's get to the playbook and see how to actually use them. These are actionable strategies you can put into practice today to make sure you really do own what you build.
Listen, if you take away only one thing from this whole explainer, make it this. Meaningful human input is everything. The courts are looking for a significant contribution from a person. It's your prompts, your edits, your big architectural decisions, and your arrangements that ultimately create ownership.
For patents, this means you need to build a story of human invention. Here's how. First, capture the why, the specific technical problem you're trying to solve. Second, detail the how, your unique data flow or your method. Third, show real results with benchmarks. And finally, save your logs and file early. This is your proof that a human was guiding the whole process. And to avoid that nasty open source trap, you need good coding hygiene. It's that simple. Scan everything with a license checker. Keep a software bill of materials, an SBOM, which is basically just an ingredient list for your code. And critically, set really clear rules with allow lists and denial lists for different licenses. Know what's safe before it ever gets into your product.
And look, these strategies are useless if they just live in one person's head. If you have a team, you absolutely 100% need a simple, clear policy for how everyone uses AI tools. Consistency is key to protecting the company.
And your policy has to cover these non-negotiables. First, everyone uses company accounts, no personal ones. Second, and this is a big one, never ever pay secrets or sensitive info into a public model. Third, a human has to review and approve every single AI output. And finally, and this is so critical, make sure your employment agreements clearly assign all intellectual property back to the company.
So let's bring this all together. Vibe coding is an unbelievably powerful force for innovation, and trust me, it's here to stay. The challenge isn't technical, it's legal and it's strategic. The goal here is not to slow down. No way. It's to be deliberate. Use AI as this super-powered assistant that handles all the boring stuff while you, the human innovator, provide the unique architecture, the creative spark, and the critical oversight. That's how you turn AI output into your protected intellectual property.
And that leaves us with one final question for you to think about with your own work. As you're using these amazing tools to bring your next big idea to life, just take a moment to ask yourself, is the legal foundation you're building on solid bedrock, or is it quicksand? The choice is yours.